everyone. Hey, and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume, yet another preview. Today we're looking at King of the Ronalds, the final season, which is quite upsetting in a sense, the end of an era for them in terms of a venue, the good ship. We'll get to that in a second, but that's what we're doing today. If you want to help support the show, as always, follow us on the multiple platforms, subscribe to us on YouTube, leave comments on the video, share. Recommend to a friend. Sometimes, I don't mean to sound selfish, Battle Rap Resume listeners, but I don't know, Battle Rap's got a huge audience, and I'm not grateful for my audience, of course. Like, thank you to everyone that, supports the show and all that sort of stuff. But it's just like, sometimes I think, I'm like, why isn't there a, more of a spillover? So maybe you can help necessitate that. Maybe I'm being greedy and selfish. Probably both. But yeah, all of that stuff. Go onto iTunes, leave us a review on there. Subscribe on there as well. patreon.com/BattleRapResume if you want to donate to the show. But yeah, we're going to get into this. Very excited to have a debut for the show, in a sense. Someone that I spoke to at event stuff, like a battler himself. Will, how's it going, man? Will Spliff.
Yeah, all good, man. Thanks for having me on.
Of course.
It's nice finally actually come on for once.
Yeah, because actually, you know what's funny? I haven't really thought of this before, but I'm pretty sure you were the first person. I think it was at Rapping It Jack, which was the training days. I think it was you and a few other people. So this was like just a date that the show had kicked off January of that year. This was like July, I think, August or something like that. Anyway, I remember you saying you listened to it at the gym or something. I think you were the first person that ever came to me. It was like, I listened to the show, so it was quite cool.
Yeah, I remember. I'll be honest, I was quite drunk.
Yeah, well, mainly
it was just the thing. I've been talking to you for about 20 minutes, and it wasn't even that. It was just recognised your voice. I still remember that event, mainly because, what was it, Dank versus JB?
Yeah, oh man,
was one of the major ones, and that's the great battle. But if you ever watch it, 95% of the comments are about me and Shank's reactions.
I remember at the time saying to people, and I mentioned it to JB on the episode as well, you guys, like, at the moment, of course, you're going to be energetic, but I kind of like it. It's kind of like We Go Hard, like UK, like.
Well, that's the main reason why I like KOTR. Like, that's a standard thing in KOTR. Everyone gets screwed and just kind of overreacts to everything, which is fantastic. Obviously, again, it happened last week, the next in line 2, to the point we had to kind of tear Shanks away.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I like Battle Rap live. Like, I don't watch it much now on YouTube because the live events are so much better.
Yeah, no, completely. And Colton Shanks's E. Farrell interaction. So can you just kind of recreate it for me? What happened there?
So obviously we arrived about 12 o'clock. We'd watched quite a few battles. We'd been drinking since about 10, 11ish anyway. And I think the E. Farrell battle was quite early. It was about 2, 3, because I think Heretic had to go for a performance, is what he told me. As we were getting back into the venue, Shanks had bought like a mixture of alcohol in a Lucozade bottle. Right. I'm not particularly sure what was in it. Everyone was swigging out of it from out back, but obviously he wasn't allowed to bring it back in. So he downed like about, the massive bottles you get. It wasn't like the small bottle. He downed half of that, so we could tell he wasn't exactly sober, but E. Farrell's one of his favourites. He stood in the front, and everyone was kind of, you'll see Bobby Rex in a couple of battles as well, punching people, like pushing, etc. It's not really like a UK thing. It's only really recently come over here. And then I think it was in his second round, Shanks, literally after a Harry Potter battle, you'll see it in the trailer for KOTR.
Yeah.
Pick E. Farrell up and chuck him straight into Heretic, like not as in a gentle push, fully chucked him in. He refused to go back, so it took me and a couple of other KOTR heads, Zach, who's also on this card, Ben Willis, aka Drowned, who's also I think unfortunately not on the card. Literally we had to like wrestle him to the back to stop him get kicked out. He ran off, and we kind of lost him for 2 hours. We found out he was like passed out on the couch and actually missed Frankie Bender. Again, we had to persuade Kay not to kind of chuck him out and just sober him up as best we could.
Yeah, I mean, what a price to pay for one of the most memorable crowd interactions ever. But yeah, justice in a sense. Like, I remember seeing, obviously I was there, and the shock on Heretic's face, I think rightly so, just the ferocity of the impact, thankfully immortalised in videos that will soon to come on Code Red, I believe. I think that's where they're eventually being uploaded. But
I think that's where
let's get to the card. This is October 22nd, I should say. Kilburn High Street, London, Kilburn, all the details you can find in the episode description. The most important thing, though, about this is it's at the Good Ship. I mean, describe the Good Ship to me in terms of what it means to KOTR.
So obviously I've been rocking with KOTR for about 2 years now, and KOTR's been going about 3. And the Good Ship is like the patron saints of the Fiddler's Elbow, or the Ministry of Sound Toys. Don't Flop. I forgot the name now. The Good Ship is to us like it's a fantastic venue. They always welcome us. My very first one was Gab versus KOTR, which happened there. It's literally a fantastic venue. It's been for comedy. I think Adele started there. There's been quite a few other like very famous acts that have been there, and we're going to be one of the last events there. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a thing now in London, especially where a lot of venues are closing down because then their licenses are getting taken away, or their like latent licenses, which I think that's happened with Good Chip. So obviously we won't be able to go there anymore, and it is literally holds about 50% of KOTR's events, and obviously there's some very historic moments in there. It's not just the Good Chip, you've also got the alley behind Good Chip, which you may recognise from such battles as Pedro versus Max Sherry, where the obvious thing happened. One of my favourites was ever held there, Hulk versus iKid, which if you've ever seen is fantastic. One of my favourite ever KOTR battles. Blunt, Ted and Bard had a wrestle down there. Literally, it was kind of a weird scene. I'm glad that wasn't filmed, but Blunt, Ted.
Bard and Mackenzie went down there, didn't it?
Barnes McKenzie was in the venue.
Good Chip,
in the venue, yeah. Obviously, I think we've had some more South London events recently, but most like major battles have been down there that have been in London in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think Lazy had his tryout versus Odds there. Did that happen there?
Lazy versus Odds, yeah. Back when Lazy had like one of the worst haircuts in battle rap.
Yeah, that amazing like sort of ringworm mop. I don't know how to describe it.
I'm so glad he got rid of like before. It was only because I was going through the old if you click on the event at the bottom, you can go through like, old photos of like things that have happened at that, which obviously was fantastic because I just saw Lazy Ass Jack's haircut, which I'm so glad he got rid of before I ever met him. Max Sherry's ripped t-shirt, which is like exposing a nipple as he's trying to punch Pedro whilst Joker Star holds him back. Another fantastic historic moment in KOTR history.
In battle rap history, I think, we talk about the Hall of Fame on this show, the battle rap, what props will go in there, Cannabis's notebook, Zayn Azrai's laptop, maybe Max Sherry's ripped shirt.
I genuinely think it should. It was the obviously he didn't coin it, but the term EMC is now like widely used.
It's a verb.
Battle rap.
Yeah.
It should be.
Yeah. The battle rap dictionary as well, which is, I mean, numinous. But we get to the event as a whole. As you say, it is a farewell. And I've never actually personally been to the Good Chip, so I've never experienced this magic. But seen through the lens of KOTR, it is a vital set. Like a Fiddler's Elbow is the most obvious comparison, a bunker, etc. A treasured venue. We get to the first battle. Sam XM versus Zach. You battled Sam XM at the Cypher Lounge, right? Was that?
Yeah, I did. I think that wasn't the best ever battle, but I battled him at the last Cypher Lounge. It was actually arranged about a month in advance, but Sam cancelled it a week before due to a sore throat, or I can't remember the exact reason. So I hadn't written anything for it, and then the day before, Sam XM drunkenly texted me saying, I'm going to be in South London anyway for a Christmas football match, let's do it. Sam forgot all of his bars, but he had a very, very good tryout versus Tez. Which I think I don't think you were at the battle for, but
no.
Tez was spitting big T schemes. It was found out afterwards and still somehow lost to Sam.
Wow.
So he was literally like, I don't mean like he was spitting a couple of bars. He was inverted and copping rounds.
Oh my God.
And still managed to lose. I don't know how you muck up that much.
He wasn't making gun sounds, was he?
No, unfortunately. No, I think it was Big T's third versus Surf. So it was not even like an obscure round.
So incredible battle, yeah.
Yeah, incredible battle, and he was spitting that verse thing, and Sam did well. Sam's down from, I think, Devon area, so again, it's another far trip. And obviously, Zach is being a KOTR hired for time. Zach's a good mate of mine as well.
Zach's the guy. Zach's the guy, man. And I always see Zach at the events. Always love chatting to that guy. He fucking knows his battle rap, man.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous. Like if I ever I don't even need to message Zach saying you're going to this event. I think he would have been at Chalk Out yesterday. Unfortunately, I couldn't go.
Yeah, I saw him on the pay-per-view. I mean, shout out the Chalk Out pay-per-view. I should say, by the way, picked that up as well. But yeah, he was there, man. Yeah, he's such a fan.
Yeah, of course he was. And next in line, he did the Knots event the week before, which was where his first solo battle was. He battled Frank Lucas last weekend. 1 round, a last-minute battle, which I think he lost, but it was apparently a very good battle. Obviously, I've seen Zach's rounds, and he had some good fire. And Sam, if he comes hard, it could be a very good battle.
Yeah. Shout out to Sam as well. Had him on the show. We did history of KOTR title. Which was a good episode. Yeah, so I obviously saw yourself and saw him at the event. It was good catching up, and it was this battle. How does it measure up for you? Who's going to come out victory?
I think Sam so far hasn't had what everyone expected of him because he was introduced by G-Dub and he had quite a good tryout. Unfortunately, versus me, he kind of slipped up, got very drunk, etc. But that happens. Zach's had 2 battles on KOTR, one with Zen versus G-Dub and the Chemist. Unfortunately, again, I think Zen got a bit drunk on the coach and didn't really remember any of his bars. But again, Zach had it. Zach has a bit of a thing of spitting a bit too fast. But if he can control that and actually do 3 rounds, he's actually coming prep for this. This is probably the first battle he's wrote for more than in a day. So I'm going to say Zach on this, probably 2-1.
Yeah, I'm interested to check this out. I know Zach has a doubles battle out, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's him and Zen versus G-Dub and the chemist up in Liverpool, I think it was.
And we get to the, arguably the most important battle on the card. Yourself, Will Spliff, versus Deafening. Just before we get into the Deafening battle, a quick bio of you as a battler then, because I knew you more as a fan really, but you've got more into it battling-wise.
So yeah, I was always a fan. Obviously, I was happy doing that. Like as I say, KOTR has a good history of bringing people through as well. So like your Carlton Shanks, Chucky P, Sam's, and other that have come through as fans. It seems to be the one that gives a shot to anybody and is quite good for cultivating talent as well. They probably have the biggest home roster of the leagues at the moment, up there with Dub Scandal. So I was meant to try out August 2016, so a year ago, against I can't remember his name now, Struts. It was the Future Pagans 2 card after the fantastic Future Pagans 1. Unfortunately, Struts couldn't make it on the day.
I was there, man.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah. Who battled there? Didn't Carlton Shanks battle Lil Maisie there?
Yeah, Carlton Shanks versus Little Maisie. Obviously, as I say, the whole idea is, is to go back into the thing. I've been watching battle rap since it must have been 2010ish. So quite young. I've always enjoyed it. Back in WRC days. So sorry, lost my words there. So I never really went to events because I was one of those people that didn't have a mate to go with. I wasn't really interactive on the forums before Viewpoint was thing. I'd known Shanks, who's obviously one of my best mates, for about 2 years. But we'd been friends of friends. We were played football against each other, etc. One time we happened to be on the same National Express, coached back to our university in rural Wales. After awkwardly talking for about 15 minutes, I said, "Sorry, mate, I'm going to put on some battles now. I just need to chillax." And that kind of kicked it all off from there, really, because then I knew someone that actually knew battles. We became best mates, same football team. Obviously, he then started battling, so a little rivalry started between the two of who could do better. I eventually got my tryout versus Zen, which I comfortably lost. And obviously the name Will Spliff was set up for us to eventually do 2v2s in future, and we've got a couple lined up, which is always going to be good.
And Deafening, I always say on the show, whenever I introduce Deafening, I always say how much of a fan I am of this guy. I think he can write well, and he has piercing eyes as well, so that's always a bonus. But in terms of facing him, he's pretty lethal, man. You got to be on your A game here, I think.
Oh yeah, the reason I took this, so originally I was meant to battle Tay. That was arranged. The flyer was being made, but unfortunately Tay is not on battle at the moment, so he'd accepted it kind of because it was the last good shit card, but changed his mind. So I obviously put a couple of posts out saying he wants to battle. I was offered a tryout, the chemist as well. I don't know if that was ever going to happen. And then Bowski just inboxed me saying Deafening's coming back and he wants on this card. Obviously, Deafening's had some great battles. I can't remember, his last one was Drowned. He battled at the good, so he wanted on the card, and I said fair enough. Like I said, I've got 2 unreleased battles at the moment. I'm not going to say my name's really popping, and Deafening's is. So if I want to take a shot, I'm going to take a shot, and it's the reason I took it was for the challenge. Deafening, as you say, writes well. His projections are a lot better than mine as well. He's very not shouty, but he can he makes the room hear him. And I remember him. Obviously, he's not come off a great time. I think he no-showed Blunt Ted and a couple of other battles before this. He's just come back. He's good mates with Blunt Ted, so Blunt Ted's got him back. And he also lost to, I can't remember, I think it was Odds in the bottom 8, because he joined the bottom 8 basically thinking he would walk to a title shot. Unfortunately, G-Dub took that route, and he lost. So I think he is coming back with something to prove as well. So it is going to be a hard battle, and I'm glad to be the underdog, really. That's what I like doing.
Yeah, he's battle versus Canal. He's all right in that, definitely. He's always kind of, visceral as well. He just those flashes. I think he had a Don't Flop tryout, did he as well?
I can't remember his Don't Flop tryout. I think
Rapped.
I'll have to.
Yeah, in the park, but I can't. Rapping It Park is what I'm trying to say.
There were so many battles.
There were so many.
There
was storm of battles. But yeah, this is it's good to see. Definitely good to see him back. Deafening for sure. And I think this definitely proves to be promising. But working our way up the card now, Max Sherry versus Little Maisie. It's a battle I never knew I wanted.
It's fantastic. This is the one thing I like about this card is everyone on this card is KOTR. And those two are possibly the most KOTR people you can get. Like Max Sherry's already synonymous with like everything he's ever done, from the crying up to the getting his shirt ripped. Actually, he's battled O'Shea. He is what KOTR is all about. I think I can't remember who it was. He had a different opponent for this, so this is only a one rounder. I think it'll be 2-3 minutes apiece, so it's a nice, good short battle. Little Maisie is another one, which was, if you give it a year or two ago, was ripped into on the forums, like was kind of just shunned upon, and for some reason has embarked on a wrestling career. Which he has got the support of the entire community for. He's become, and the thing I don't know. He just passed his wrestling. He's met some famous wrestlers. There's videos of him online suplexing people. So I can imagine there's going to be some fantastic wrestling bars in there as well.
Finally, relevant wrestling bars.
and it's going to be fantastic as well, because the main thing that Little Maze used to get ripped into is he wasn't really self-aware. And now he's kind of come out and going, oh, I'm a little bit of a shit battler, but I'm going to come out and enjoy myself. And I think it'll make for a lot better battle between the two.
Yeah, this could be good. I think this is giving Maze the opponent he deserves. Mac is arguably stepping down from a low rung, but stepping down.
But he has got something to prove, because I think his last ones where he got absolutely eviscerated by Visceral was his last battle. He no-showed Bear, which wasn't a good look for him. And before that, he had a debatable with Cannell, but Cannell was spitting throwaways that he had for Stowaway. So it wasn't like a great classic battle. I think it's been a while since Max Sherry's been at his best. So I'm hoping he'll come back up for this.
Yeah. No, this is intriguing one to see what they go at. And shout out Max Sherry as well. One of the most useful to follow guys on Instagram. Like, he always just like captures events, mostly selfies of him, but it's still documentation. It's
normally him and Ashley Randall, the ginger Chris Evans, who's another KOTR legend, because he got his hat and glasses stolen against Pedro.
I mean, regardless of that, the guy's just a legend, man. Like, he's just,
I've always got him with Ashley.
Mega fan. And we get to the top three of the card, but you're right when you're saying it's King of the Ronalds all the way through. It does have such a... I really like the way the card's balanced, actually. I think it's got a lot of good battles as a send-off. Blunt Ted, obviously, great friend of Battle Resume. Shout out Blunt Ted, huge fan of that guy. Versus GWA as well, who's, recent champ. This is quite the clash.
Yeah, as I say, Blunt Ted's come off. I think, again, he's been one of those ones where he's stopped doing serious bars as much as he always does his third expose rounds. It'd be quite interesting, because I think he might get a bit personal in that one. Again, that was his last battle, Max Sherry, on his birthday, where he was doing tequila shots between rounds. Right. He just gave he did Knott's battle last week, where he gave Tinny Wayne, I think it was, his first tryout, because he's basically staff. Obviously, he's staff now. He's not so much on battling. He's taking whatever he can and he's doing stuff. And obviously it's a non-title match. But if I'm right, every KOTR non-title match is always a title match on the day. So RZA vs Bar wasn't meant to be a title match, but it turned out to be a title match. Mickey vs Mackenzie up in Scotland wasn't meant to be a title match, but it ended up being one. So it'll be interesting to see if Mickey does his normal drunk self and makes it into a title match on the day as well.
Definitely. I even regardless of that, though, seeing both of these guys go at it is always entertaining. Ted, especially, like you say, the angles he can conjure. Like, I find it so compelling, really, to watch him. And lots of his old bodies in the closet. Sometimes I still revisit. And GWA as well. Saw him beat Bard at the last Cypher Lounge, and he's impressive, man. He's a real force live.
Oh yeah, say like I can't remember his first battle. I think he's undefeated in KOTR. He's like 7-0, right. But he was put into the bottom 8 after one of the worst battles ever. I think he had a really awful don't flop tryout as well. Can't remember who that was against. Yeah,
he battled Scribbs.
Yeah, Scribbs, and it was horrific in the nicest way to him. He's I'd say fantastic guy to like hang around with, and I had him especially like not beating Bard. But he came hard in that battle. Like, he deserved the win, and he's a good champion for KOTR at the moment.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see someone that obviously Blunt Ted has got a fantastic like personality. Like, his battle rap resumes are always fantastic to listen to. Like, if you talk to him in person, he's fantastic. Occasionally comes across wrong on paper, because Blunt Ted's status is very confusing to read. But it's going to be fantastic. I think Blunt Ted's technically retired as well after this battle, so I don't know how many more he's doing after this.
Right. But I mean, yeah, what a name to bow out on. And yeah, just seeing both these real legends, and talking of legends, Mickey Worthless versus Bowski.
Yeah, this was a battle which you would have thought was on like a 2011 don't flop card.
Yeah.
Not in a battle.
On demo
I'm surprised this never happened.
Yeah.
Like, if you consider like Holt's battle Bowski, Holt's battle Milski, most of the staff to fill cards or vice versa have battled each other. I'm surprised this has never gone down. Mickey's already said like this is, especially after his South African battle, because obviously he's back on it, and he had that very controversial third round against it was on the Scrambles for Money. If anyone was watching, go and watch his third versus that, because it's a very Cadillac Ron moment.
Right, apparently very racist. I haven't actually seen it. I've just heard that.
It's on a live stream. I was waiting until the main thing's out, but it's like a really dodgy live stream that was on. Waiting until the proper battle's out. But yeah, like if you can, I think it was Cadillac Ron versus Unorthodox Phrases. I think Mickey may have just topped that. Okay. He was in the middle of South Africa making some, it's less say inappropriate jokes that I won't repeat, but yeah, he went thing, and he's back to enjoying battle rap. Obviously he had a bit of a down moment because he got screwed over to be on the Battle of the Royal Rumble. So I think he's been down for a couple of months, but now he's back on it. As I say, Mickey's saying he's enjoying writing for this, and Mickey in enjoyable mood is a hard one to beat. But that said, obviously Bowski brings that. Browski's a vet, like he's obviously had over 70 battles. I just listened to his battle rap resume the other day as well.
Oh yeah,
obviously he's only done 2 battles this year. He's come back off an illness, so I think it genuinely could be a KOTR classic.
Yeah, shouts to Bowski for coming on the battle resume episode recently. It was a great episode, really enjoyed that one. So definitely check that out if you haven't listened to it, and shout out to Mickey of course as well. Yeah, this is there's so much history between these guys, KOTR or otherwise. It could make for quite a fitting kind of farewell sort of clash, you know. Yeah,
definitely. I think those two are possibly the best ever send off that KOTR have for the good chip. Yeah, not much else to say really. Just turn up and watch that battle, because it is one of the ones where you just look at it and go, I wanted to see that 3-4 years ago. Why has it not been done before?
And I mean, talk to me about Hulk and Magic Mike. This is it's an odd matchup for Hulk, right?
I think it was meant to go down about 2 months ago on a Manny card. I can't remember. Pay Your Dues, where they had the flyers whipping Callum, I think it was. So yeah, that was meant to go down 2 months ago, but Hulk was unfortunately delayed on a train or something. Interestingly, this is like a kind of thing where Hulk's, no offense to Magic Mike or anyone that Hulk does battle, but he's been stepping down a lot recently. Even the bare solutions like Hulk didn't really want to do. Before this, actually, I just saw Hulk put up a status saying next year he won't be doing any stepping down battles. Obviously, I've heard, I haven't seen it yet. He did really well versus Templar. On Chalked Out yesterday. I mean, Magic Mike's entertaining as hell. Like he went from someone that's really shit to entertaining in a matter of months. I don't know if you've seen him versus Young Crumpet yet.
I haven't seen that one. No, that's a new one. Yeah.
I think I've got one. What was it? He one of his quotables was, "I'll put an eye patch on my Jap's eye and play Pop Up Pirate with your mum."
Right. Wow.
He just has those sort of bars where he's so like it's weird, and it's going to be his first battle at the good chip as well. I'm just trying to remember one other quote. That was it. Just because they're called Crocs doesn't make them alligator skin. I don't know how he starts coming up with these things, but it's just it's one of those ones where I think obviously Hulk's going to win. No offense to Magic Mike, but like Hulk controls the building. If you've ever seen Hulk live, it's a lot different to Hulk on camera. Obviously KOTR's crowd reaction, and Hulk can control the room. He's a proper rapper's rapper. Like he knows how to control the room, and I'm looking forward to him now that kind of, no offense to Don't Flop, but Don't Flop has fallen down. I think Hulk's going to start getting the battles he deserves. You're going to start seeing him against a lot more top tier opponents where he belongs. But again, it's a proper KOTR matchup where you've got a top tier versus someone that probably, no offense again, Magic Mike, doesn't deserve the shot. But that's what KOTR is good at, is those odd matchups that could be classics.
Yeah, and someone like Hulk as well, with an opponent like Magic Mike to sort of sculpt his stuff around to be a bit as weird as Magic can be, you know, sort of outside the box, will be interesting. It's a great chance for Magic Mike, and great to see Hulk really. I've got the Chalked Out pay-per-view, didn't get to watch his battle yet against Templar, but yeah, hearing incredible stuff, reading great stuff as well. So I mean, you know, hopefully the run will continue into this final match, and you know that, I mean, takes us away. How do you imagine it going with the final battle? Is everyone just going to leave quietly? Is it, how are they going to respect?
This even on a Sunday. Like I don't often go much out of KOTR events for this very reason, because I've got work the next day. KOTR never ends quietly. I think there'll be some, especially with this many people in the room. I'm hoping there's going to be a bumper crowd as well. There's going to be some shenanigans after the event as well. Obviously after as well, like KOTR is not going to go out with a good shit with a bang. I think there'll be some alley battles as well. You're going to see, like, there's no way. There is a rumor, which I might speak to you about after, that Max Ray could be having a second battle, which could be an absolute classic, which may be happening in the thing. But again, that's not confirmed yet, so I don't want to put it on paper.
And I should reiterate, October 22nd, you know, Sunday, as you say, 5 till 11, the good ship, Kilburn High Street. All the information is in the description box. £5 entry, so I'm sure on King of the Ronalds on their pages, so you can RSVP to the event finally, before we wrap up, I opened up the contest to a few questions, whatever. What do people want to know? Bowski asking, what are our predictions for O'Shea versus Zayn, which is going down in Liverpool?
Oh, yeah. So apparently there's going to be the best KOTR North event ever, which I've only seen one announcement so far. Zayn Azrai versus O'Shea. Anyone that's obviously followed UK Battle Rap for the last couple of years knows how crazy Zayn Azrai can be. Him versus Maskrist, with the Generation Gap bar was fantastic. And O'Shea, I don't think he's battled in a while. If I'm right, he's not really been on any of the new cards, like your chalked outs and your next in line. So I genuinely think that could be. I know I've been saying it a lot. This thing, another classic of. I can't see anyone but O'Shea winning that though. And his home turf, especially up north. I can imagine he's going to be in his element there. So yeah, I'm going to give that to O'Shea 3-0.
Yeah, that's exciting as well. I think that's October. It's late October, isn't? Late December. Sorry, it's late
December. Yeah.
I'll have to remind myself on the date of that. But yeah, that's just. I mean, that card is just being teased out at the moment as well. So Will, I guess to close up, like, what should people watch of yours, or is what should they check out battle wise?
Battle-wise, the only battle that's out is me versus Zen at the moment.
Okay.
So keep an eye out for
well,
me
what's
versus
that one then?
Watch that one. So me versus Stanza and me versus Sama should be coming out soon. They've been waiting a couple of months. I have a feeling because it's KOTR and Mickey has messaged a couple of times on group chat saying they're going to put out a new episode series and they weren't great battles. So I think you're going to see an episode of me soon, which if you know how KOTR episodes go is going to be very interesting. It could be anything from like the blind awareness to 3D battles that we've been putting out. So Pigman Dan's going to be on that, so keep an eye out for that as well. Obviously, me versus Definite, I think, will be pushed more to the front. I think that's going to be a fantastic battle, so watch that as well. And hopefully, I think I'm going to be on some more cards late January-ish, so keep an eye out for those as well.
All right. Well, sweet, man. This has been great. It's great to hear you getting more battles, and please, everyone, go to this event. Also, subscribe to Battle Resume, Patreon, iTunes, all that good stuff. It's been great to have you on, man. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me on, man.